Mike, in this week, since you guys clinched, leading up until game one, have you been able to reflect on what you guys accomplished, or are you just trying to keep your head down and not even think about it, knowing that there's still a lot more left?
Yeah, I think really just keep our head down and stay focused. Took a couple days of rest and just watch these games, knowing we could play either team. But just trying to keep our head down and stay focused until we get this ring.
Hey, Michael, I guess, do you ever take time to reflect on this journey? I mean, given everything you've gone through with your back and everything, I mean, basketball could have been taken away from you at any point, and here you are in the finals, here you are, a valuable member of this team.
Yeah, definitely try to take time to reflect and be grateful. I think been journaling, things like that. I try to do gratefulness journaling and just reflect during this journey just on all the things I ought to be grateful for. But at the same time, just stay hungry, keep working, never let up. But at the same time, you got to take moments to reflect, I think. That makes it worth it.
Michael, I know you guys have started the game planning process for both of these teams. Just from your perspective, what is the biggest difference between these two teams and how you would approach either matchup?
Yeah, I think they're both really good teams in their unique ways. Boston is obviously very talented all the way through their whole roster. Got a lot of guys who can play. So you can't really take any of their guys lightly because they all are hoopers. Miami's just very gritty. I think both teams are scoring around 20 points off of other teams' turnovers. So we're emphasizing taking care of the ball and things like that. But they both present a unique set of challenges. We'll see tonight who we play, but neither team, is a rollover. Obviously, they're both very good teams. So looking forward to see who we play tonight.
Hey, Michael, how do you think your coach, Michael Malone, has helped you guys navigate this journey here in the playoffs? And has he been any different in any way than he was from the regular season, or he's just kind of steady in the same way?
Yeah, I think just, same as he's always been. I think all our guys are really doing the same things we've always had. We just have everyone healthy at this point. So I think that's really the big difference between now and previous years is just health. But everyone, no one's changed who they are during the playoffs. No one's tried to do things they haven't done all year. So I think really that's the key, was just all of us being healthy and being able to play as a group.
Mike, what are you most proud of personally in terms of how your game has grown this season?
I don't know. I wouldn't really say the word is proud of. I don't really look at myself like I've really made humongous leaps in any area. I still got a long ways to go. So, I appreciate when people say that, but I definitely have a long way to go and a long way that I know that I can reach. So I wouldn't really say that I look at anything for the past year and I'm too excited about it. I just keep trying to get better every day.
Mike, where do you think you guys as a team have improved the most throughout the playoffs, if you guys have at all, just from game one, the playoffs, to right now?
I think we've been pretty consistent as a team throughout the entire playoffs. Every team we've played has been a little bit different, Minnesota, then Phoenix, and then LA. So the game plan has been a little different, where guys are getting their shots. But as a team, as a group, we've stayed pretty consistent and together through this whole thing. So that's not going to change.
Mike, we know you have a wide network of friends throughout the NBA, guys you keep in touch with regularly. Has anybody hit you or anybody offered any advice throughout this break, or have you been in touch with anybody, leading into the finals?
Yeah, Trae, me and Trae Young have talked a lot. He's jealous since I'm in the finals, and he's only made the Eastern Conference Finals. We were talking about that in LA. He came to our last game in LA. And then Brandon Roy, my coach from high school, he called me the other day, and he pretty much was just criticizing everything that I was doing. I think he's jealous, too, because he never made it to the final. But those two dudes, B. Roy still gives me lots of advice. He was my coach in high school, so he sees kind of how my game has evolved since my injuries and things. So, he gives me great advice. That's a good mentor to me, but I'd say those two have been the ones who have been in touch the most.
Mike, what's been the toughest part about this long wait, whether physically, mentally? And then my other question is, what'd you make of that last play in the Celtic game and Derek White's buzzer beater.
Yeah, no, it's definitely been a long wait. It seems like we haven't played a game in forever, so we've just been trying to stay in shape, stay in the gym, and just wait and see we play. We thought we would have known a while ago, but the Celtics, they're making history right now. They're being very resilient, so I'm very excited to see how tonight's game go. But, we're not really hoping for either team because they're both great teams. Like I said, we just got to see what happens. And then that shot, that was one of the craziest innings to a game I've seen. Jimmy Butler getting fouled on that three, and then Derek White hitting that buzzer beater. So, the Celtics are feeling really good about themselves, so it'll be interesting about tonight. And we know both of those teams play with extreme confidence, so it's just going to be a fun finals either way.
Mike, you were saying in November about how this is going to be a process with your back, and it's just going to be a gradual process to get to where you are right now.
Mm-hmm.
When did you feel like yourself, and how have you managed the back, and how do you keep managing it to make sure it stays like where it is today?
Yeah, it's definitely. It's still a process because I'm able to, play and contribute, which is the things that I said earlier. Got to be grateful for, but I still feel like there's a lot of boxes I can still tick. Growth I can still achieve just in rehab in general and feeling better. But I've definitely made strides throughout the year. During the entire year was kind of almost I was rehabbing simultaneously, like playing. So I feel good at this point. There's some things that I'm doing different this time around to try to just keep my back in check and everything. But like someone said earlier, like it could get taken away from anybody any day. So really just try to stay in the moment and take it day by day and do my work every day and leave the rest up to God for real.
Mike, you mentioned kind of how long it's felt since you've played a game. Does that kind of cause you to have a more intense mindset in practice, just trying to at all simulate what it's like for a playoff game?
Yeah, definitely. I think you definitely have to do that with this 8 or 9 day break. Try to just find ways to make yourself go harder than a normal practice, just so you're making sure you're kind of in shape. So trying to create game shots in the flow of practice, normal pace, game pace. And then I've been doing different conditioning things just to try to stay in shape. It's a little different when you're not playing games every other day to try to stay in basketball shape, but we should be good. We've been practicing pretty hard, things like that.
Mike, you're a great offensive player, just like Carmelo Anthony used to be here for the Nuggets. What do you think about his legacy with Denver, and did you study his game as a kid growing up?
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Melo. He was one of my favorite players growing up, and we've actually developed a relationship off the court. When I was in New York for that little stretch that we had against Brooklyn and the Knicks, we ran into each other and just chopped it up, and he told me, come kick it with him in the offseason, come out there and work out with him for a little while. So that's definitely something I might do. But, I'm a big fan of his and his legacy. That's definitely one of the guys I look up to growing up, for sure.
You guys have had a pretty good supporting cast. And I'm wondering specifically about Christian Braun. He seems to be a guy that embraces his role, even if it's 2 minutes here or there. What do you think of his approach and how he's handled his rookie year?
Yeah, he's handling it as well as any rookie could. He's already a valuable piece of this team, and he's just a rookie. So I told him, you can't trip about playing a lot some games or some other. It doesn't matter how good you are as a rookie on a good team. It's hard to get minutes. So he has he already has a very good foundation as a player on this team. You know what I mean? So going forward, he's obviously a big part of this team, and he knows that to be able to play as a rookie in the playoffs and guard some of the best players in the world is pretty dope. And he just brings a winning culture. They won in Kansas. I knew Christian growing up. He played with my little brother, so it's really good to have him on the team.
All right, a couple quick ones on Zoom.
We'll go to Jake Uedi with Hoops Hype.
Hello. You talked about Coach Brandon Roy. I just wonder if you could talk about Seattle and its impact on your journey and where you are today.
Yeah, Seattle definitely had a big impact. I feel like, growing up in Missouri and then moving out to Seattle and being around all those pros and getting coached by Brandon Roy, that was when I really took my game to the next level. And he helped me just get better every day and eventually become the best player in the country on the best team in the country. So that was his first year coaching, which is kind of crazy. But I think he's won like 4 state championships since I left Seattle. And that's just a good friend of mine to this day. He loves basketball. He's just a really good dude. So Seattle definitely has a big piece of my heart. And that was definitely a dope time in my life.
Next, we'll go to Mark Spears, ESPN.
What's up, Mike?
What up?
Why do players love Sparky so much?
They don't. No, I'm playing. I mean, I think he's the longest. Correct me if I'm wrong. He's been here the longest out of any. Yeah, out of all the staff, he's pretty much been here the longest. So he's just the OG around here, and he's just a goofy dude. You know what I mean? He gives me encouragement before games, and you know we have our inside jokes. He's definitely. I'm close. I'm pretty close with him out of all the staff and the whole organization. Me and Sparky are pretty close. And yeah, he's definitely just a big part of like our team culture. You know, always bringing the upbeat attitude. Even though he's an equipment manager, he doesn't have to be that joyful every day. But he brings that good energy to the ball arena, and yeah, we just love that dude. So yeah, definitely a big part of what we got going on here for sure.
And I also want to ask you about Calvin Booth when he got appointed GM. What were your thoughts, and what kind of respect do you have for what he brought to the team this season?
Yeah, Calvin's my guy too. I think he's a real chill dude, real laid back dude, but you know he does what needs to get done on that side, and we have a good relationship. And obviously, I think it's pretty well known now the guys he brought in are a huge part of the reason why we're in the finals. Obviously, KCP and Bruce being two of those guys, but really the vets too. Like as much as the guys on the floor are contributing to us winning. Like DJ, Jeff, Ish, Reggie, those guys' attitude and their leadership is just as part of the reason why we're doing so well. So it's really just finding a group of dudes that mesh in the locker room is a big part of winning. And I think Calvin did a great job of that.
All right, we have time for one more. We'll end with JD Dyer, Sky Sports.
Michael, what's up, man? How you doing?
What's going on?
I just have a final message. I can imagine how you've been inundated with congratulatory messages from your friends, your family, and everyone else in between. But what's the best message you've heard over this period, just to kind of get you ready, and more than anything else, so you can stay present?
Yeah, I just think I would say my family really. Just their encouragement, them being at the games, you know, wherever that is, LA, Phoenix, they've been flying to the games to watch me play. And just we got a family group chat, so that's always the first thing I check after games, see what they were saying during the game. So yeah, I think just having a family like that, 7 brothers and sisters, and I'm really lucky in that area. So I'd say my family for sure.
Thank you, Mike.
I appreciate you guys.